Lately, have you felt an inexplicable exhaustion, as if problems were multiplying without reason? Perhaps despite your efforts, things are not flowing as they should. You may have noticed strange changes in your relationships or feel constantly drained without an apparent cause. If any of these situations sound familiar to you, pay attention, because what I am about to share could change your perspective. Today, you will discover the 7 signs that Padre Pio identified to recognize when someone envies you and is negatively affecting your life. Padre Pio dedicated his life to guiding and protecting people from negative influences and left us invaluable teachings on how to detect when someone envies us or wishes us harm. But why is it so important to identify these signs? Because envy acts like a silent poison that can affect your work, your relationships, your health, and even your mental peace. And the most dangerous part is that many times we do not realize its impact until it has already caused damage. Now, imagine that you could identify exactly who is sending you negative energy. Imagine having the ability to protect yourself and stay safe from these harmful influences. That is exactly what you will learn today. What you are about to hear is not mere speculation, but concrete signs based on years of observation and spiritual experience, documented by Padre Pio himself. These signs have helped thousands of people identify and protect themselves from envy and the evil eye. And I warn you, some of these signs may surprise you because they are not the typical ones that everyone knows. They are subtle yet deeply revealing manifestations that we often overlook. In the next few minutes, I will explain each of them in detail, show you how to identify them in your daily life, and most importantly, what to do when you detect them. This information may be exactly what you need to understand certain inexplicable situations that are happening in your life right now. Before continuing, if you believe in the power of spiritual protection, write in the comments, Padre Pio, remove all envy from my life. Also, make sure to subscribe and activate the notification bell, because every week I share powerful teachings like this that can make a difference in your life. You will not want to miss any of these special messages that have already helped thousands of people. Now that you understand the importance of identifying envy, let us analyze the 7 signs that Padre Pio taught us to recognize. Pay close attention, because each one of them could be manifesting in your life at this very moment. The first sign is a sudden change in relationships. Have you noticed that some people close to you have changed their behavior without an apparent reason? This is a particularly revealing sign because it often manifests in relationships that you once considered stable and trustworthy. The change does not happen abruptly, but subtly. An evasive glance here, an apparently innocent comment there, until over time, an unmistakable pattern forms. Pay special attention to certain behaviors. For example, that person starts canceling plans at the last minute, avoids meeting you at social gatherings, or always has an excuse not to be present at important moments in your life. At work, you might notice that someone who used to share information with you now becomes reserved, or that a colleague who once supported your ideas in meetings now constantly questions them. In the family sphere, this sign can manifest when a relative who was once close to you begins to spread rumors about you or excludes you from important gatherings. Conversations with these people become superficial, and you feel an inexplicable tension when they are around. The most significant aspect is the moment when these changes occur. They usually happen right after a positive event in your life, such as a promotion, an economic improvement, a personal achievement, or even after receiving praise from others. The envious person may try to minimize your accomplishments with phrases like, "You got lucky," or "Anyone could do it if they had your advantages." The second sign is unexplained physical sensations. Envy does not only affect the emotional or social sphere, but it can also manifest physically in our bodies. These are not mere passing discomforts, but consistent physical responses that repeat in specific situations. One of the most common indicators is a particular headache that starts in the frontal area and extends toward the back of the head. Have you ever felt as if an invisible band were pressing against your head, especially in the temple area, generating a pain different from a typical migraine? A discomfort that appears suddenly when you are near certain people and disappears shortly after moving away from them. This is not a coincidence. It is one of the most intriguing physical manifestations of envy. It is not just temporary discomfort, but an exhaustion that goes beyond the normal. A sensation that drains not only your physical energy, but also your emotional vitality. Your arms and legs may feel heavy, as if you were walking against an invisible current, and you might experience an inexplicable tightness in your chest, making deep breathing an effort. It is not a heart problem, but a sensation of weight that generates unease and an inexplicable desire to distance yourself from certain spaces or people. But there is more. Some people experience digestive discomfort, a feeling of nausea or a stomachache that arises after interacting with a particular person or entering certain environments. If this sounds familiar, it could be a sign that you are absorbing negative energies without realizing it. Envy manifests in many ways, and one of the most revealing is the presence of recurring obstacles. We are not talking about the normal challenges of life, but about blockages that appear with such precise timing that they are too coincidental to ignore. Professional projects that seem to stall without logical reason, documents that mysteriously disappear just before an important presentation, emails that never reach their destination, negotiations that collapse at the last moment without an apparent explanation. In personal relationships, these obstacles manifest as sudden misunderstandings just when you are about to strengthen a meaningful bond. People who could help you become inaccessible or unexpected conflicts arise that delay or prevent essential meetings. In personal development, it is common for crises to arise whenever you are about to achieve an important goal. An unexpected expense right when you are going to enroll in a course. An urgent problem that diverts your focus when you are ready to make a positive change. The common factor in these cases is the repetition of obstacles at key moments of progress, as if an invisible force were trying to keep you trapped in the same place. Another powerful sign that you are being affected by envy is disturbing dreams. These are not ordinary nightmares, but recurring dreams that leave a deep mark, a feeling of unease that lingers throughout the day. In these dreams, you might find yourself being chased without being able to clearly see your pursuers, or navigating familiar places that suddenly turn into labyrinths, making them impossible to cross. Water, a symbolic element, may appear murky or stagnant, reflecting the negative energies surrounding you. Another common pattern is dreaming of people from your environment behaving in a threatening or unsettling manner. They may not harm you directly, but their mere presence in the dream generates a sense of danger. It is also common to dream of losing valuable objects, especially those representing recent achievements or successes, or seeing animals with specific symbolic meanings. Hidden snakes, black birds following you, dogs that were once friendly but now appear aggressive in your dream. Upon waking up, even if you do not clearly remember the dream, the feeling of discomfort and restlessness persists for hours, especially during periods of success or positive changes in your life. The inexplicable loss of energy is another manifestation of envy. This is not just ordinary tiredness, but a deep fatigue that settles in the core of your being, making it difficult to find motivation. The energy that usually flows within you seems to drain away without reason, as if something were absorbing your vitality. At these moments, it is crucial to recognize these signs and protect yourself from the negative influences that may be affecting your well-being. The energy loss caused by envy is not just a common feeling of fatigue. It is a profound exhaustion that affects the body, mind, and emotions simultaneously, disrupting personal balance. Physically, it manifests as an unexplainable heaviness, as if you were carrying an invisible weight that slows your movements and makes everyday activities require extraordinary effort. Mentally, concentration becomes a challenge. Simple tasks seem more complicated than usual. Conversations feel draining, and a sort of mental fog clouds your thinking, making even the most basic decisions overwhelming. Emotionally, there is a disconnect from what once motivated you. The events that used to excite you lose their spark, and even the smallest pleasures become indifferent. This emotional energy drain can reflect as a feeling of emptiness, as if something inside you were disconnected from its own essence. The most intriguing aspect of this energy drain is that it does not happen randomly. It tends to intensify after interacting with certain people or in specific situations. You might enter a meeting feeling fine and leave completely exhausted, without any obvious physical effort to justify it. This phenomenon is a clear sign that a negative influence is draining your energy. Another manifestation of envy is constant conflict. These are not normal disagreements, but situations that seem to arise out of nowhere and escalate rapidly without any logical explanation. At work, an apparently innocent comment in a meeting can turn into a major dispute, or a minor misunderstanding about a project can evolve into a crisis requiring intervention from superiors. In family settings, even the simplest decisions can ignite heated arguments. A comment made without any bad intention might be misinterpreted in the worst possible way, generating tensions that linger for weeks. Friendships are not immune to these effects either. Relationships that have been stable for years can suddenly be affected by misunderstandings that are difficult to resolve. People start taking sides, and what used to be solved through a simple conversation now turns into a much bigger issue. The most revealing aspect is the timing of these conflicts. They tend to intensify when things in your life are improving, as if an unseen force were trying to overshadow your moments of success and happiness. But envy does not only manifest in the body or in relationships, it also affects the environment around you. These changes might seem subtle at first, but when observed carefully, they follow patterns that are impossible to ignore. One of the most evident signs is the erratic behavior of electronic devices. Appliances that once worked perfectly begin to fail without any apparent reason, especially those essential to your work or well-being. Lights may flicker without any electrical explanation, and household devices may unexpectedly turn off or get damaged. Another clear sign involves plants. Some, particularly those given as gifts or those that hold a special meaning, begin to wither without reason, even when they receive the same care as always. This phenomenon is especially noticeable in plants that were previously healthy and thriving. Personal objects can also be affected. They might mysteriously disappear and later reappear in illogical places, or they may suffer unexplained damage, especially when they are items that represent achievements or important moments in your life. Even the physical atmosphere can change. Spaces that once felt warm and welcoming might suddenly feel heavy and uncomfortable, particularly after visits from certain individuals. If you notice these changes in your surroundings, do not ignore them. They are warnings indicating that something or someone is influencing your energy and well-being. Now that you know the 7 signs that indicate the presence of envy in your life, it is crucial to learn how to protect yourself effectively. Padre Pio left us powerful teachings on how to recognize these negative energies and, most importantly, how to remove them in order to maintain our peace and balance. Protection from negative energies is not a one-time action, but a continuous process, a shield that must be strengthened day by day. Padre Pio taught that the key to avoiding the influence of envy lies in how we care for our environment, our relationships, and our spiritual life. Our home is the first refuge, and it is essential to keep it as a space of peace and harmony. Cleanliness, beyond the physical, has a significant impact on the energy of a place. Airing out rooms, letting fresh air circulate, maintaining order, and avoiding the accumulation of unnecessary objects are small actions that contribute to balancing the energy of our home. In our personal relationships, it is essential to establish healthy boundaries. This does not mean isolating ourselves, but rather learning to identify which people bring us positive energy and which ones leave us feeling drained. It is not always necessary to sever ties abruptly, but it is important to maintain some distance from those who, through constant envy or negativity, affect our well-being. Padre Pio also emphasized the importance of personal protection through prayer and meditation. It is not about dedicating long hours, but about finding a moment each day to center ourselves, breathe, and visualize a protective light surrounding us, forming a shield against any negative energy that could affect us. Discretion is another key aspect of protection. It is not necessary to share every achievement or plan with everyone. Padre Pio taught that humility is a powerful barrier against envy, because when we handle our blessings with wisdom and prudence, we avoid becoming a target of ill intentions. In situations where you feel that envy is affecting you, remain calm. Anxiety and fear only amplify its effects. Instead, reinforce your spiritual protection with simple but powerful actions. Carry an object with special meaning, something that reminds you of your strength and helps you stay protected. Always maintain an attitude focused on your own growth, without letting the fear of envy make you doubt yourself or your abilities. When the presence of negative energy becomes evident, there are practices that can help dispel it immediately. Padre Pio recommended taking 3 deep breaths, visualizing a light enveloping your entire body, and mentally setting a clear boundary against any harmful influence. These actions are not superstitions, but practical tools that have allowed many people to preserve their emotional and spiritual well-being in the midst of difficult situations. Now that we have explored how to protect ourselves, it is important to remember the signs that help us identify the presence of envy in our lives. Changes in relationships, unexplained physical sensations, recurring obstacles, disturbing dreams, loss of energy, constant conflicts, and alterations in the environment are key indicators. Each of these signs, when viewed individually, might seem insignificant, but together they form a clear pattern of how envy may be affecting us. However, the most important thing is not just recognizing them, but understanding that we have the power to protect ourselves. Padre Pio taught that envy has no real power over those who are spiritually prepared and strengthened. Every obstacle we overcome makes us wiser and more resilient. That is why you should not let the fear of envy stop you or prevent you from moving forward on your path. If you have identified any of these signs in your life, do not see them with fear, but as an opportunity to strengthen your protection and build healthier relationships. The key is to maintain your inner peace and keep moving forward with determination. Before concluding, I want to remind you that you are not alone in this. Thousands of people have gone through similar situations and have managed to overcome them by applying these teachings. You can do it too. The essential thing is to stay firm in your convictions and not allow negative energies to interfere with your peace or your progress. If you have ever experienced any of these signs, I invite you to share your experience in the comments. Your testimony could help others who are going through the same thing. And if you want to continue learning about this and other important topics, activate the notification bell so you can receive more content that may transform your life. Knowledge is power, and now you have valuable tools in your hands to identify and protect yourself from envy. Do not let these teachings remain just theory. Apply them in your life and share them with those who may need them. If this message has helped you better understand what is happening around you, I want to ask you something important. Subscribe now and activate the notification bell. Why is this so essential? Because every week I share vital information like this. revelations and advice based on the teachings of Padre Pio that can make a difference in your life and that of your loved ones. You cannot imagine how many people have written to me, telling me how these messages have helped them identify and protect themselves from negative energies they did not even know existed. Most importantly, many have managed to free themselves from situations that were affecting them without their awareness. If you join this community today, you will be among the first to receive the next video, where I will share the most powerful prayers of Padre Pio to protect yourself from envy. Do not miss this opportunity to strengthen your protection and continue learning. If this content has been useful to you, show your support by giving it a like and sharing it with someone who may need it. Remember that knowledge that is not shared is knowledge lost, and this information may arrive just in time for someone facing a difficult moment without understanding why. If you want to receive more messages like this, you already know what to do. Subscribe, activate notifications, and get ready to receive teachings that can transform your life. See you in the next video, where we will continue learning together how to protect and strengthen ourselves. Keep your heart at peace and use wisely everything you have learned.